Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is, where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When I'm trying to kill you, but with faith you recover. Yeah, peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's unseen, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen, hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Sneering this shit through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt of disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.
Peace, everyone. I said, when someone breaks the law, consequences are expected. When those consequences follow someone everywhere, questions arise. Tonight, we are talking about laws that mark people long after the court date is over. Red plates, red stripe, permanent signals to the public. Is this about safety or is it about punishment? This is the People's Podcast. Welcome, Moon Tortoise. What's the deeper meaning behind all of that? And you're muted.
So I'm actually here, huh? Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm just a bubble tonight, guys. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about the deeper meaning, which is at its core. This topic challenges how society defines justice. These laws rely on visibility as control, assuming the public exposure leads to safer behavior. The deeper concern is whether long-term marking supports growth or traps people in a past version of themselves. When identity becomes tied to a conviction, reintegration becomes harder. Accountability matters, and so does ability to move forward. The tension between protection and dignity sits at the heart of this conversation. And then laws and focus, listener-friendly breakdown. Was that part of me?
Yeah, it's a listener-friendly kind of breakdown.
Yeah. Okay, let's break it down. This actually started in Utah, and it was effective early 2026. It applies to high DUI convictions, BAC 0.16 or higher. Driver's license. Yeah. And it's crazy. Driver's license or no state or ID includes a red stripe across it stating no alcohol sale in big letters. Alcohol retailers must refuse sales, designed to restrict access and reduce repeat offenses. And in Ohio, we got party plates. These are red letter license plates for repeat DUI or OVI offenders. Mandatory for certain offenses such as second convictions, publicly visible to law enforcement and the community. Does not restrict alcohol purchases. Broader context. The other states rely on the ignition interlock devices and monitoring. Utah stands out for trying alcohol restriction directly to ID use. Let's talk about it.
So, I'm having a hard time right now with my phone. I don't know if I did an update or what, but something's changed. But anyways, so do visible punishments reduce repeat offense? So, what do you think, SGF Graham? Because someone sees it, that it's going to stop it from happening? And welcome. Peace, peace.
Peace, peace. You talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, what did you ask? Sorry about that.
That's okay. Do visibility punishments reduce repeat offenders? Do you think just because other people can see it that they'd stop doing it?
Nah. Oh, it's a nice idea, but a lot of times because humiliation comes with it, a lot of times people double down on whatever they did or find something else to be belligerent about. Oh, that's a big black widow. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think it could be a 50-50. It depends on how much humiliation was dragged on from it.
Okay.
Do remember that a lot of these laws will restrict sales from vendors to people. Like you can't, in that state they won't sell to you at all. No, that sounds like it's kind of tricky as well into its own.
It is honestly like it's different because every state's doing something different. So like Utah, theirs is the putting that little stamp on your license saying that no alcohol can be bought. Now Ohio has a plate where you have to get that plate in, like it's a yellow plate with writing on it. And that stands out and lets you know that, you have limitations and you're driving your car with limitations. You can't go to bars and stuff like that. There's certain things that you only get it for. But all of those are like more than one DUI, though. You have to have more than one consecutive DUI. You have to have like 3 or 4 before that even gets in effect. So I get it. My son got his vehicle because someone had to sell it per the courts. Because they no longer could drive, they no longer could have a vehicle. They had to sell their vehicle that was in their name because they weren't allowed to have one because they had too many DUIs. I get it, but after a while, shouldn't something else be in place like mandatory help? Or
that's a really good question. Also, people at home, please jump in and comment on this. I know y'all have an opinion on it. For real. If I get enough people on here, I'll uncover myself and be on camera sick. Ooh.
Uncover myself. I mean, as Chef Graham, it seems like it's I don't know, because this is a tough one. This isn't just because different states are doing different things. This is passing now to two different states, and Utah just started their thing this year. It was mandatory, January 2026, mandatory.
See a lot of drunk people in Utah. Sorry.
That's funny. All this going on, though, like honestly, all this going on, and yet you're fighting sober, trying to get your license back. And it's not because of anything like this. It's not because of lots of tickets and DUIs. I mean, I lost my sister from a DUI. I get it.
Well, me having fight. I haven't had a license for 8 years. I mean, it costs money. I paid the money. It was a clerical error in the state of Michigan. They just lost everything. I lost a lot of paperwork, moving around and having a weird troubadour life. I'm gonna make another move towards it, but it's screwed up. You got to put these in place, and I get it too to a degree. If I had a ton of DUIs, I don't know if I would even trust myself. But do I want the government telling me that? That's where a lot boils down. I don't really want the government telling me anything. I got sober for 8 years.
Oh no! Listen, the government is involved in every single aspect, and I don't want to say too much, but getting the government not involved in anything is probably easier because they're involved in everything. You can't get a house. You can't get married. You can't have a child. You can't send your child to school. You cannot not send your child to school. You got to vaccinate your child. You can't unvaccinate your child. You no longer have a child. You no longer are you because you came here, because we have a government, because they say it can.
I think the government has been watching us because we had 6 viewers and they all left. What are you guys, the government? All 6 of you guys get back here with your suits on and your sunglasses.
I just find it funny that, I mean, I'm not, please don't anyone think that I'm all for drunk driving, because I'm definitely not. It's just that there's so much more they should do. I think mental health should play. I think there's a reason that somebody's constantly drinking over and over and over and still thinking they're okay to get in a car to drive. Something chemically is not right. It's got to be. When that addiction overturns your ability to care about your life and others, and you make somebody else's.
It's scary. Even after 8 years, I still ask myself, if I ever get my license back, do I actually still trust myself? To be honest with you, it's scary to me. I do. Boy, I do. But
all right, the next question. When does accountability cross into permanent labeling? SGF Graham.
When does accountability cross into labeling?
Permanent labeling. Permanent.
And it's consistently a lack of accountability. Well, if it's a lack of accountability, I'm pretty sure they said the first time you messed up, oh, he ain't gonna make that mistake again. Then the second time they said, oh, he ain't gonna make that mistake. Then the third time they said he might not make that mistake. Then the fourth time they said, all right, it just is what it is. I mean, you grew that reputation for lack of accountability. So that's what happens. Even if somebody could wake up the very next day and be completely different. Well, guess what? You gotta work up that accountability to give them that new assumption of you. You got to show the consistency of that new assumption that you're not in your old ways. So that's the way that I could think about it.
No, and I get that part too. At the end of the day, I get all sides. I'm not saying that I'm pro one side over another. I just, without even taking the fact to put the government out of the side, take away the government being in control of everything in life. there is that aspect of accountability. Like, you have choices. It's no longer considered habit. It's no longer considered a trend that you're doing, a tendency that you can't control. It's no longer considered,
Whether it's in the moment or over a period of many years, perhaps even a lifetime, it's very hard to remain accountable when you're inebriated all the time.
facts. But why wouldn't you want to get better? Why do you not love yourself so much that you just don't want to get better and that you're afraid to get better? Put that aside. You got to have accountability for something, for what you're doing. I've been with someone that was a full-blown alcoholic for 9 years and only had 1 DUI. Probably should have had a lot more, but only had 1. And that's because he wasn't driving, because he was one of those people that thought he drove better drunk.
Ooh, that's a fun thing that goes around. SGF, were you saying something? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, I didn't say that.
Maybe not. I'm really out of it, guys. I am sick as a canine today and yesterday. It's been rough. I'm not missing the podcast, but no, it's
So I mean, eventually it's there's got to be accountability for self. Like, yeah, you're mad, and I get it, and that's all aspects of the life. Addiction's rough. You can't just say, okay, it's that want to do better. So to have a permanent labeling is one thing, yes, but you are labeling yourself permanently anyways by your choices.
So if it's a no sale thing, if we're talking about protecting life here with such a clause, you really do you gotta want to get better. You gotta want to get better. So, you see, I don't feel like forced AA. This is gonna ruffle some feathers. I don't feel like forced recovery programs actually work a lot of the time, and statistically, I don't think they do either. You can go look that up on Google. It's you're forcing it. And then there's this big joke that goes around. You say you quit doing drugs or drinking for liver, lawyer, or lover. It's like those 3 things. And it's kind of an allegory for how you try to get sober for other people. And I don't know if it's going to cut down. If you take something away from someone forcibly, they're probably going to fight to get it back. We don't have a lot more recovery options, as it turns out. I think more places are springing up, and we need to support them.
That's what I think too. I think there's got to be another option, because something's wrong. I promise you. The bottle didn't accidentally get to you. You're going to that bottle intentionally for a reason. SGF Graham, what was it? What you got to say?
No, I can't remember.
I didn't think so. It's sad because when Moon Tortoise's start, if he stops, he won't remember what he was at. So. This is the calmest Moon Tortoise is going to be because he's sick. When does accountability? Oh, we did that already. Should consequences end when sentence is complete? I don't think when sentence is complete, but I do think that consequences should end when a person has changed. When you really see growth, when you can acknowledge that that person has changed. Moon Tortoise hasn't drank in 8 years. That's severe change. That's not, okay, I'm trying it for a minute and try to look good. 8 years is for real now. Like, there's no going back. And when did you decide that was permanent, that you were never going back, Moon Tortoise? What year?
2016, yeah.
So that have been years, what, of the sobriety? 3, 4, 5?
Well, the minute I decided, I can barely think. The minute I decided I was going to quit drinking was it was 7 in the morning, and I had to get brakes on my Ranger, and it was like this time of year. And the store wasn't salted, the parking lot wasn't salted. That was my excuse. But I woke up hammered. I woke up blackout drunk, and I decided to drive to Memphis. And I just slid into the store that my grandparents built and bumped into it and took a big chunk out of the front of it. And I'm like, man, and it'd make it 300 feet from my house. And I went to jail for the night. You know, and that's what I decided right there. I'm like, it's a new year, baby. That walk home from jail was pretty cool too. Someone picked me up that time. It was cool.
But what year did you realize you weren't going back? As soon as you decided to quit? Or?
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I meant. Like right there. Like
right then and there.
I never lost that idea. I smashed into my grandparents' store. I used to ride my tricycle around and it was horrible. It was mortifying to me.
I feel that. I feel that.
I'll show you the pictures, damn it. I got them. Tricycle Henry. Tortoise.
That's funny shit.
Just a young shelled reptile.
Just a young shelled reptile riding my tricycle. And that might be a thing, though. Maybe a lot of people feel that way, that there's a child in an adult body. They're trapped. They're not making proper choices for themselves no more. They're not really having a control over this. They're in a child trapped. A lot of people got to look at it that way for real. Because at the end of the day, man, it's your life. How many do you want to try to keep taking yours and somebody else's? Because at the, you know, like, there's so many other things out here that's going to end your life.
Oh, people take it for granted.
Why drink yourself to that point? Why allow that? Because dialysis sucks. Kidney failure sucks. Moon Tortoise dad was an alcoholic and wasn't. And their liver dialysis kind of is what started the triggering effect of his demise.
Well, diabetes really. Stress. My dad was doing really well for a while. Stress really took him out.
And I bet that a lot of that stress, because you bleeped out a little bit, but a lot of that stress, I bet, is due from being around alcohol.
Yeah, I hold myself accountable for that too. I spent many, many years drinking with my dad. We had a lot of really good times together, but we had some shit times, let me tell you.
And your mom played a part in that too. It's a hereditary thing. It's a hereditary
I didn't want it to be the Henry show. Shit.
I'm not trying to be either. I'm just saying at the end of the day, people have to stop looking at themselves when they're making poor choices and start looking about how it affects those that care about them. How does it affect your health? There's bigger things out here than just, I mean, the laws are laws, whatever. It's happening. But you got to take yourself outside the laws and start really thinking of you. If you're allowing feelings in a temporary thought process that addiction is, because I'm telling you it is, because I was an addict. I was, and I'm saying I was, because I'm not saying I'm always am one, because that's bullshit. I don't want to do it no more. I don't even think about it no more. I don't have to allow this to become me. And that's what people forget, that they're separate from whatever it is that they're addicted to. And that's a whole nother story that we're going to talk about another show. But at the end of the day, you have a choice. You have a choice. You're already labeling yourself and you're already wrecking a lot of lives around you.
It's delusion. That's the fallacy of addiction, is it produces a delusion like you need it. You know, you start drinking for maybe it could be nothing. It could be nothing. It could be because you look cool, and then years down the line, your whole life's ruined because of it. You don't realize it. It's a slow and gradual process a lot of the time with any kind of addiction. I don't know. I've seen heroin eat people up really fast. I tell you, I've seen meth just consume souls, shit them right out in a matter of months. So,
addiction is terrible, no matter what it is. Seriously, sex addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, food addiction, all of it sucks at the end of the day. because we're battling these feelings. We're battling this urge to want. Even here comes Kendall, remind me of caffeine even.
Yeah, I was just going to add her. I'm drinking tea tonight.
Kendall, see, we're talking about addictions, and all of a sudden you popped up. I'm just letting you know. First thing that popped in my head was coffee addiction.
Firstly, I only had a decaffeination coffee, and that tastes like water and liquid fart.
Liquid fart? Is that
yes.
correct?
Yes, you did.
Ooh,
And
that's
she's
spicy.
she's going through the withdrawals of the addiction that she had. She's going through.
Oh.
But anyway, so Kendall, what do you think that I'm going to ask everybody this? Who decides when someone has changed enough, and when do you think that it's noticed? When do you think that people realize the change?
I think it's to do with yourself firstly for you noticing such ordeals. And then if you notice on the person that is changing or trying to change, I can't say on their behalf. That's up to them.
And who is it to decide whether or not a person has changed enough?
Again, that's between you and the person. Or just yourself.
I mean, Moon Tortoise, who noticed that you decided to change? And when did they said that, oh, you've changed enough?
So, who decides when someone has changed enough? First of all, you have to decide when you've changed enough. But you can do this utilizing a tool called seeing how others react to you. First of all, you're going to want to surround yourself with people who support that change. And if people don't support your change, which is called making amends, usually, you have to be okay with that. You have to move on and move forward. It's a lesson in accountability and self-perseverance. So it has to be you when you decide it's changed enough, but you sure can get a lot of support by proxy through people by having them mirror and support you through your accomplishments. It's part of the things you get through sobriety. You get them.
I love that you said mirror too, because I've noticed with people that have changed in healing and stuff, when they said, well, even though you haven't noticed, I've noticed. Okay. But the thing is, what I've noticed though, is that they notice it. And they stop mentioning it that they notice it. Because those that keep mentioning that they notice their change is trying to convince themselves. I promise you. Because when someone knows your change, they're going to mirror it. They're going to show it. You're going to see it. It's going to resemble what you want and who you see yourself. That's what a mirror does. I saw this thing one time that said, someone walked up to the mirror and the mirror was frowning at it. And they were like, why is this mirror frowning at me? And then they realized it wasn't the mirror frowning at them. They were frowning at themselves. The mirror just happened to show that. So that's what I'm saying about another person, another individual. They got to change first. And then want it to change and accept the change and see the change. You got to mirror it. Remove yourself from those people that you don't want to mirror. And start surrounding yourself around the people that you do want to mirror. You feel me? S. Jeff Graham. So, who decides when someone has changed enough? S. Jeff Graham, were you with me? You say it, Moon Tortoise. Moon Tortoise.
SGF, are you there? I hope he might be rescuing a baby from a burning building. I hope, anyway. I see him like that.
No, that's terrible. That was all left. Please, I will apologize for Moon Tortoise's sickness.
My phone completely froze up. Well, what was the question?
You moved towards what left. Who decides when someone has changed enough? And what does it look like? Like, who decides that? Like, what's it look like when you know that someone has decided that you've changed enough?
You're asking, just I might need another question. I don't give a damn what nobody think about me. I
That's
would
what
say
I'm saying.
that the person chooses when they change, and I guess it's up for him to prove to everybody, or she to prove to everybody that they change. Man, fuck them. Just go somewhere else. Whatever, like you change, you don't have to prove it to nobody else. More than likely, this is why the world is so freaking big. So you can regroup and go somewhere else and be the changed person you are versus with dealing with people that don't want to accept the fact that you have changed, whether it's for good or for bad, or not even good or bad, or whatever. You could change in, you don't hang with the same friends, and it didn't necessarily mean nothing bad or whatever. You just don't do that thing anymore or whatever. And just because you don't do that, people don't want to accept that. You'll come back to it. Here, take this. Be surprised that you won't drink the liquor or drink as heavy as you did anymore, or whatever the case may be. Just because people that think they know you don't accept change. They already know you.
Fuck that, he says. Give me a new question and proceeds to answer the question beautifully.
Because I knew it was gonna come off angry.
Yeah. No, I
Because
know. I like that.
You're allowed to do that because at the end of the day, you have a reason. That it's your opinion.
yeah, it's
It's not
like, but they'll turn it.
that it's theirs.
Yeah, but they'll turn their. I've seen people opinion. I have watched interviews of people that I have seen the masses say they still ain't ish, but I waited until after the interview to read the comments, and before I read even after I read the comments or whatever, I was like, dang, I really feel like that person really has changed. Whatever, and of course in the comments, everybody was like, "Oh no, you always be that." Yeah, da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, the world is so unforgiving. Or whatever, like, even though everybody wants you to be forgiving of whatever they do, there a lot of people is so unforgiving of what everybody else do.
And that's another thing that I think that the mirror also implies. I think you feel that within yourself, you see that within others. You have to start with self because you aren't what you were. That doesn't own you. That addiction does not own you unless you allow it to. That's a choice you do really have. And in the mindset of it, at the beginning when you don't know that, that's okay. But after you realize that, don't allow someone else to tell you who you are.
Real talk. I try to discourage people from making a bunch of sobriety posting when they're in early recovery. And it sounds mean at first, but I'm like, don't seek external validation for a problem that you're trying to fix. It's you can do this. I waited a long time. I'm saying it's okay to say it and do it, but don't beat it to death. Don't rely on that for all your. Because I've seen too many people go dark, after saying how sober they are. So it really keep some things personal and then share goals, maybe, or plateaus. Just a suggestion.
Honestly, unless you want the discouragement, unless you want that repeated feeling of letting yourself down.
Right.
And
There's groups too. Sorry. No.
But I'm just saying, you have a choice. It's your choice, though, right?
Yes.
It's your
It is a choice.
And the addiction doesn't own you. You think it does because you're comfortable with that, because that's what you're familiar with. Now I'm going to repeat one more time. I'm not talking to you as an addict. I'm talking to you as I know what that felt like. But that's not who I am. And that's a choice you have to make. Because if someone tells you what to do, because we're being told what to do all the time, breathe, think, don't think, work, don't work, think again. don't think, stop, don't pee. We're telling people to do so many things and being told to do so many things that we're not allowed to think. And our mind is always in survival and wanting to stop us from making the wrong thinking decisions and doing the wrong things. But we have that choice. Would these laws be viewed differently if it's applied to other crimes? Do you think that these laws should apply to other things? Yeah. I searched the list the other day for offenders in my area. I think they should get a tattoo. that's what they've done, and I think it's over a certain part of like the tiers of repeated things. Like if you're a habitual offender of people's innocence, the world should know that because you're not changing. You're not wanting better. You did it 4 times.
The tattoo's the least you could do. That's like Scarlet Letter. We all read that story, so we know how that worked out.
That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Just an opinion.
That's all that is. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say, what do you think? Moon Tortoise going to pass around everybody. Would these laws be viewed differently if they were applied to other crimes? Where you had a do not drink thing on your license if you did something different, or a license plate if you did something different.
It's a good question. How do we keep it civil? For other crimes, yeah, it's for other crimes it might even that you speak of, it might even be more better in that aspect, since I think we tend to be way too lenient on certain types of crimes that happen. But for me, if I saw the habitual DUI offender thing on my license, well, I don't even have a license. But I don't know. It wouldn't change anything for me because I'm not going to drink. I don't know what mindset I would be in if I got it. I don't think maybe.
Stop for a second. Breathe. You're glitching.
Oh, I glitching. Yeah, they come out. I hate it.
Yeah, you're glitching bad. Yeah, we're gonna hold off for a minute. I see you. So, SGF Graham. Hold on, SGF Graham. Would it be different? Would these laws be viewed differently if applied to other crimes?
I guess for other people it would. I'm a firm believer that people can change, so that don't mean that I won't be wary of the person that's being freed or whatever. That's what comes with the consequences or whatever. People being doubtful, but I mean, the judgment system said that you are done. And so I will assume that you are done or whatever. I can't change. You can't change personal feelings, but maybe it should be laws put in place or whatever. When a person is done, certain things can't be taken from them or certain you can't act a certain way in front of them in public because like it's certain things that I don't agree with it, like oh, I can go out here and rob the world and murder everybody, and I can get food stamps still when I get out of prison or whatever. But if I get caught with one nickel bag or paraphernalia, I can't get food stamps at all. Whatever, like, so uh, I don't agree with too much that's around anyway when it comes to it. So I guess that once again I don't know how to feel about it because some sentences be overly or whatever, like, are you serious? And then other, lately it's been with the M word, people getting deleted, and it seemed like everybody's getting a slap on the wrist and able to get out on a bond, or whatever, in a lot of eastern states at least. I can't speak for Midwest and Western, but they slapping what look like first degree, they slapping it all with a second degree or whatever, so they can bond out or whatever, but the person that did $1 billion check fraud against the government is bond denied. So I guess it just depends on where your belief factor falls. But me personally, I don't think that. I think that once the punishment is done, the natural consequences is the way that the community is now going to be wary of you for what you did. Whatever. So that should be enough to most people, hopefully, not to take their self or their family through whatever they went through.
It's going to live with you. Somehow the consequences are going to stay with you, from your liver to your life.
Ah,
If
mm,
you allow it, you
it's-
got to remove it. You got to, and I mean consequences for your life. It means like liver shuts down, you're gone.
oh yeah. People, stress kills.
Yeah.
And
People don't get it. I said it's way worse than a lot of things.
yeah. Stress is like the gate to so many diseases and stuff, and people don't know it's that gate. Stress is really that gate, and a lot of people's stress come off of what others think or whatever. So that's why I say that most of the time the consequences of the community leaving that burden on that person would almost be more than that prison sentence could ever be, because in prison it's other people that did what you did, and all this, so y'all high-fiving each other, y'all getting in groups and banding together or whatever, versus the community is finna shun you. The community is finna make you walk across the street because don't nobody trust you anymore or whatever. You can't operate the way you did because nobody would even get close to you for you to misoperate whatever. So, I guess it just depends on who that person is and what type of community that they're coming up in.
I like that answer. Kind of. Would these laws be viewed differently if they were applied for different crimes?
That's a kind of yes and no answer. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Okay. How about if they were applied to the crimes like you got in your backyard, like the crimes that you find when you're doing security? What if it was drug crimes? What if like they weren't allowed? They had to you have a license plate saying that they're a repeat offender of shooting up and stuff like that. Whatever else that heavy stuff is, would it make a difference? You think of people trying to do that to themselves? It's still a form of an addiction.
I would hope it'd make a positive difference if they wanted to change that badly, but that's up to them.
Yeah, but so you don't think no license plate's gonna make it, or no stamp on your life saying that this is what you've done is gonna make a change?
So it's basically being held accountable for what you've done. So then,
Basically.
yes. Oh, that's hard to answer. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say yes to be on the safe side, I think.
I get it.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah.
Do you remember how prohibition worked?
No, I don't remember a lot about this world.
Prohibition. You remember Prohibition, where they outlawed?
No,
Look up
I probably
Prohibition. It's an important period in history where they outlawed alcohol. They tried to make alcohol illegal in America here. That's where we get the term
okay.
speakeasies from and whatnot.
No,
It's
it's
very
okay.
interesting.
So,
It failed. Spoiler.
no, it's okay. My dad had a bar, and his bar had an underground railroad that led from Port Huron to Canada. I don't know where in Canada because I don't know. I didn't go down it like that. It was a long tunnel, and it had a little track with a dolly in there. What do you think that was for? Alcohol. Homemade alcohol, imported alcohol, whatever. They were smuggling it.
Yeah, it could have been for anything, you know.
Could have been for anything. It was small. It could have been for anything. Nothing big.
Oh,
What'd you say, Kendall? Say it.
what did she say?
So right away, my instincts went to St. Catherine's for the hidden tunnels that we used to have once upon a time. Guarantee they are still there, and we have lots of hidden tunnels that are in my city as well. I'm discovering more maps about that, and throughout Toronto and throughout Vancouver, Montreal, and whole other cities that are still hidden. Well, all those tunnels that we have. So guarantee they are still open. Guarantee.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, I don't think they close it down. See, now the one on our end, because the government got involved, the fire department, my dad's business burnt a couple times. And in the middle of the dance floor, they had to tear it up. And when they tear it up, that's when they found the tunnel. And they end up closing it up and told him legally he couldn't open it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's kind of a portal to Canada. It's a portal to Kendall. Kendall, do you speak French? No, sorry, Pedro.
Say oui, je ne sais pas. I don't know.
And that was like back in the when his bar first 90s. In the 90s.
Say what?
That's when my dad's bar was almost when we got the bar was in before the 90s.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure. I mean, prohibition happened in 1984. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Don't go on.
But before the 19s, he's had it forever. And before that, it was another restaurant, liquor establishment. Before that, it was like a brothel. So it could have been definitely for liquor, I think.
Just a lot of history in that bar. Oh my god.
It was a brothel, yeah. With the hair salon upstairs. They had everything going in that business. They had a hair salon upstairs. They had something else upstairs because with the brothel, the ladies didn't have to leave the brothel. There was a bunch of rooms and whatnot.
I mean, real talk, addiction is genetic, they say. Go ahead, no SGF, please. I thought SGF said something.
No, but listen.
No, I didn't say nothing.
Well, listen, here's something that you don't know now that you are in position of where you're at. You don't know that when SGF Graham unmutes his mic, he's ready to talk. I'm just letting you know. You can tell now when he does it because you're administrator. So you'll see him just randomly unmute his mic.
All of the mute buttons went away. I got it. That disappeared on my end for some reason.
Okay, because you're on your phone. But once you do it on your laptop and you get your volume fixed, then you'll see. But anyhow.
Wait, that's this. I can do this. Look at this.
I can't see what you're doing.
Look at the stage.
Okay, you're just moving us around?
Kendall loves soup.
Soup. You're putting comments on.
I can do that. I'm an administrator. Have some fun. This is the fun part. I feel horrible, guys. I'm sorry. It's a positivity episode.
So does what is that, shame create responsibility?
Let's go to the next. Does shame create responsibility or resentment?
What?
That
Shame
doesn't
from
make a lot.
others, or shame from self, or shame from the world, or people saying, "Oh, shame on you."
I don't like that question.
I like that question. We don't have to
Shame
do
on
it.
that question. Shame. Shame.
Shame on
Shame.
you. Shame.
I don't have a bell. There.
So positive quotes or messages. What can a positive message be, Kendall? Besides, you love soup.
Well, you're talking about the brothels, right? So I'm just thinking of different definitions of soup and how you can talk about that ordeal. But this is me. Oh, right. Positive message. Okay.
The kiss of meow.
Oh yeah. My cat's in heat. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It happens. So tell us, positive quote, message.
Right. Give me a sec. I'm gonna have to think about this one carefully.
Okay. Chef Graham.
You are not whoever they say you are. You are exactly who you think you are. And if you just happen to agree with them, then that's on you. But you are exactly who you think you are.
Period.
That was good. That was really good.
No, that's so true though, because at the end of the day, I always tell people I am whatever I say I am. If I wasn't, why would I say I am? Ask Eminem, because at the end of the day, why do we gotta lie about us? Because we are who we say we are. Only you.
Yeah, but Eminem was saying that stuff wrong. Eminem was saying, I am whatever you say I am. No, I'm not.
See, I'm doing it the other way.
Maybe that's Slim Shady instead of Eminem saying it. Oh, see?
You see what he's saying? I'm saying it like I say. I don't care what you say. Because you only can control you, and what you think of you is okay, because that's you. I don't have to feel that way about you neither. But you can't tell me how I feel about me and who I am. To me, my 12-year-old grandson told me that, and it made me feel like an idiot because he was so true. It was so true. He also said, it's not about what you know. It's about what you can convince someone else what you know. He's got it all figured out. What's your positive message? What's your positive message, Moon Tortoise?
Oh, mine? Mine is, I love soup. No. No. I just hope we don't get Eminem all pissed off at us. Maybe that would be publicity, wouldn't it? Anyway, no, my positive message is, wow, I'm pulling a SGF had a good one. I don't have jack squat, I guess, tonight. You know what? Yeah, I don't care. Don't let it take a label on your license or your license plate or tattooed on your forehead viciously by some weird guy in an office to tell everybody who you are. You know, get your stuff together before that happens, and you'll lead a happier life. I promise.
Or not. Whatever.
Or not. I don't know. Quit drinking so damn much and have a cup of soup.
There you go. Because at the end of the day, it's a choice you have. Or not. So, what is it? You want to read the outro too?
What?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
You want to read the outro?
Oh, yeah, I'll read it. I'm going to do this right quick. Meow. I like it. Yeah. I'll do the outro. Closing outro. All right, everybody. Safety
come on, do it.
matters. Accountability matters. What?
No, I said go ahead
Did you-
because
what did you say?
it started glitching. I said, oh no, don't do it. Go ahead.
Oh, we'll try it. We'll try it. You know, humanity matters. Tonight's conversation is not about excusing harm. It's about questioning whether justice should follow someone forever. Thank you for listening to the People's Podcast, the ears that will listen, where your opinion matters.
Ashe. Ashe, everyone.
Ashe.
Peace,
Ashe.
peace.
Kendra, you have to say, see ya.
See ya. That was random for today. That was awesome. I loved it.
Great show, guys.
All right, here we go. We're going to end it.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people. Rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is. Where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When I'm trying to kill you, but with faith you recover. Yeah. Peel off the makeup. We finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can't be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation.